one fierce warrior, a true friend to the end who will travel to unknown planets to help them and even to a world between worlds. Get those lightsabers up for Lady Tano herself, Rosario Dawson!
Live or die?
I choose to live. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, love you too.
Rosario, I don't know if you planned this,
What?
but your footwear here perfectly
Yes.
matches a Lady Tano herself right up here in the front row. Did you see this? Yeah. Woo! Clearly she got the text.
Gorgeous. Mm.
Now I want to open up talking a little bit about some of this amazing cosplay real quickly, because this has been such a journey for you.
Yeah.
You've been Ahsoka Tano now all the way back since The Mandalorian Season 2.
Yep.
You've stepped into those Laku so many times now.
No.
You're about to do it again
Yeah.
in Season 2.
And they keep changing and getting longer.
Whoa.
But how does it feel for you then when you're used to seeing your own face in the mirror reflected as Ahsoka Tano, but then you see Ahsokas from all over the world walking towards you at places like Star Wars Celebration?
I am always so impressed because, I have a whole team getting me ready. And the incredible details and reinterpretations that you see. And folks get really, really into it, sometimes very specific to be exact, or sometimes doing a completely different look. Like I met this woman who does Wonder Ahsoka, and it's a mixture between Wonder Woman and Ahsoka, and it really works. And I voice Wonder Woman as well, so for me it was an awesome mashup. That was my favorite mashup, I have to say, Wonder Ahsoka.
I love that. I love that. Does it get any easier for you as Ahsoka Tano on Ahsoka, the series, to get into that makeup day in, day out? Does it become something that you get it down to a quick transformation, or it's always a journey with your team?
It's pretty long now at the moment. We're trying to get it back down. It took about 6 hours to get ready the other day. It was like, okay, but we have gotten it to an hour and a half before, so I think we're going to get back down there again. But we keep changing things up, and I think it's going to be very interesting. The hardware is, it started off as foam before, and it was very heavy and very dense and shorter, but we couldn't do any, it was so heavy. And now they've got this almost like skeleton that's in the inside. It's a 3D printed skeleton with the skin over it that is so soft, can I just say? I'm just constantly just stroking my hair kind of thing all day long. He's like, why are you doing that? I'm like, I'm just petting myself. It's just something you do when you're, Ahsoka Tano, I guess. I don't know. It's really remarkable, the technology that's gone into it. And I was filming it the other day, because when you look at it, the textures and the colors and even these little flecks it just looks so alive. It's so special how each department takes on, everything that they're doing to the best of their ability and the most advanced. And we couldn't have done that in the first episode. It's really cool to kind of see what it's graduated to. So I know we're doing some more tweaks now, and I'm very excited to share it with y'all. Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see the next incarnation, the evolution of Ahsoka Tano.
Yes.
Now, I know it does take that village to get you into prep, into production, fully into Lady Tano's gear. But what excites you, as the actor behind her, every time you get to step into this role again? You've had a chance in Mandalorian, in Book of Boba Fett, and then, of course, in Ahsoka.
For me, I think the very first one, I actually was looking at pictures and the very first iteration that we did in that first fitting with Shauna. And I remember, she was so excited. I was so excited. I was doing jumping jacks in the trailer. And I was like, they're going to fire me because I am being way too much of a fangirl. But it was so special because it was a new costume. Like, it wasn't cosplay. It was something that would be cosplayed later, but it wasn't. It was brand new. So the idea that this character's stories were going to live on and that she was going to go on new adventures was just so exciting. Like, I couldn't believe it. And so we kind of, every time that we get to do a new iteration and change even just a little something, it just gets me so excited because I know someone out there is going to see it and notice that detail. The thing that I remember when we even made the Leku like a little longer, it was like, I wonder if anyone's going to notice. They were like measuring it on the screen or something. Like, y'all don't miss anything. Not a thing.
Not one
Very
detail.
impressive. It's very impressive. So I love it. It's very meditative, because it takes such a long process. And, you have like a limited eyesight. You've got this whole forehead piece. Like, this whole thing is going on. And it really kind of gets me into her, and that's something she's always taking that time to meditate, to find, those visions and really make sure she's on the right path. And it's a very, as that process of getting into her look is getting into her zone. So I do like, I'm glad it's not like a 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. It really does take a moment, and it does feel like you leave this galaxy behind and step into a new one.
Speaking of leaving this galaxy behind, stepping into a new one, I want to talk a little bit about from Ahsoka Season 1, when you get to step into the world between worlds and reunite Snips with her Sky Guy, also known as Anakin Skywalker. Hayden Christian himself. Such a huge part of her story, and one I think fans, of course, we're optimistic, we're hoping to see play out, but, Dave keeps his secrets really well.
No, for sure. He doesn't tell me anything because I can't be trusted. Yeah.
He doesn't tell me anything either.
I don't know how our season ends now. I haven't even read all the episodes. He's tweaking it as we go along. He changes things. I can't be trusted.
You'll find out when you watch it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll find out when I'm doing it. I'll be like, what are we doing today? Okay, cool.
But take me back for a minute to when you were shooting the World Between Worlds scenes.
Yeah, that was actually really interesting because most of what we were filming was on the volume, so you could see every single detail. Everyone in the entire crew could. But in this one, it was just this big platform similar to this, the width of this, with a grating on it with light from underneath, and then just green screen everywhere, so you couldn't see it. And it was really cool because he does this really awesome previs when we're filming. So it's basically almost like a video game animation of each episode that all of the directors gets to watch, so the vision is sort of shared with everyone. And, so we could see what it was going to look like. And I loved when the World Between Worlds showed up in the animation. And, for me, it was such a perfect tether going to Iman's character of Ezra because he's the one who pulled her out of that. And that was the last time that she was there was after a confrontation with Anakin before, which was so poignant because that was the one scene where you saw half of his mask disappear. And you got to have a kind of a glimpse of Anakin through inside of Darth Vader, which was something you never saw. And Obi-Wan did the same thing, but it was the other side of his face, which I thought was cool. So we always talk about that, like how powerful that was, that the only one who ever got to demask him was his son Luke. So to be there in that space with him again is just like, and see him kind of switching between Anakin and Darth Vader is just something we never get to see. And it was just, I remember we were crying on set, the entire crew. We have things filming when it's him walking down the platform and then it's Darth Vader. Like, people were freaking out. Like, we were very, very emotional. And this was a big scene for me to do with Anakin, and for me to do with Hayden, because, we've known each other since we were teenagers and never dreamed that we'd be able to do this. And for Dave, it blows his mind that we know each other that long. So that history, that texture that we get to play with on screen has a very real, history to it and depth to it that we don't have, like, you can't make that up, that we actually remember each other as teenagers. And so, to be there just felt like really magical, and actually tweaked what we ended up doing later because it was so powerful. I remember talking to Dave about it and going, I think something has to change, and he's like, I'm feeling it too. We have to tweak the later scenes because this says so much in it. And watching it again yesterday on the screen, it is a really powerful and really great scene. And you got to see young Ahsoka. And you got to see Anakin in the Clone Wars in that armor. And I remember thinking how brilliant that was done for the fans who know the animation to be able to see all of that on screen, knowing what the World Between Worlds was, knowing what the Clone Wars looked like. But for folks who had never seen it or who had, you get to see Ahsoka at war so little. And you start to understand a lot more of the complexity of her character and the traumas she's gone through, and that's why she didn't want to train Grogu. You know, like there's some real like tethers of just history there. And I remember when we were filming, he showed me the animation of young baby Ahsoka before it came out. I was in tears. We were filming in the middle of the day, and he's like, come in their lunch break, come and check out something. And I'm watching little Force-sensitive baby Ahsoka being brought out to the woods by her mom. Like, I was like, yo, this is the Togrutas are rough. Like, what an upbringing. But to just see like this journey of her, it's one of the greatest gifts as an actor to have so much to play with. You know, like it's what Ashley did for so many years, right? What a performance. I mean, you got to see her from a teenager on, and it just how she developed and how she grew, and to see her still doing so, that there's still more to learn, I think is one of the most beautiful things about Star Wars. As expert and capable as these characters can be, there's always a challenge before them that could push them, and you never know which way it could push them.
Yeah.
You know? And so I've been really, really grateful to be a part of this universe and this chapter of her life.
Yeah.
Love you. I could literally stay up here for like hours, guys, and just like nerd out with you guys. I'm not allowed, but I would if I could.
We got 75 more questions, so we're good.
Okay.
We're going to be here for a bit, yeah. No, and it's such an amazing ensemble cast, too. Like, you mentioned Amon, but, you know, the last time you were at Celebration...
How much does he look exactly like Ezra?
How much does he act exactly like Ezra?
He acts exactly like Ezra. Like, it's kind of crazy.
He's just basically
and
Ezra.
he'll tell you the story, but he felt it. Like, when he first saw that character, he was like, oh, that's me. I'm going to play that. Yeah. And they weren't even doing it. He was like, but if they ever did, that would be me. And then he literally called his agent like a year or so before it even came up. And he was like, yeah, if that character comes up, like, that's me. And the agent was like, okay. And then sent his tape, and like, it really was him. When he grew the beard out and just, oh my goodness, seeing him in the Stormtrooper, Night Sister, I mean, all the things.
So good.
Oh my God, the blue contacts. And he's a tennis guy, so he's incredible with the lightsaber. Same thing with Natasha. She's been doing like Taekwondo since she was a kid. You know, and Shin, can I just talk about Ivana? She is the nicest, sweetest woman, but she is such a baddie. Oh my God. Like when she turns it on, I'm like,
oh, wait, no, it's scary.
oh my God, she doesn't blink.
No.
She doesn't blink. She literally, the fan is going in her eyes and she's like, I don't know how she does it. She's not crying. I'd be crying. I would be crying.
Yeah. No, you must be so excited to reunite with that crew.
And Hera.
And
Can we
Hera.
talk about
And
how
Hera.
absolutely
Yes.
perfect Mary Elizabeth is as Hera? Like, it's actually ridiculous how wonderful, like, our crew, we're about to start filming in a week. And I could not be more excited to be reunited with this team. It's such a good group.
I'm so excited for you. And Chopper, obviously.
Chopper! I love that you guys love Chopper so much. He's such a toughie. I love him. Meep, meep. I love him.
Chopper's getting his own fan club over here. There's a chant going.
Come on, he's just such a rascal.
He is. He's a war criminal, but it's fine.
He's a war
I guess.
criminal.
Rosario, you've had, it looks like so many amazing moments while you've been in Japan here
Yeah.
for Star Wars Celebration. Can you tell us a little bit about the other night when you went to the temple? And it was the past, present, and future of Star Wars all kind of meeting of the minds.
Yeah.
What was that like? That must be, that has to be so surreal to be standing amongst those giants.
It's insane. You know, it's been, I remember when we did the Mandalorian episode, George Lucas came to visit on set. And he doesn't do that very often. And he was there holding little baby Grogu. And I remember John took a picture of him, and it was blurry, and he posted it online, and it nearly broke the internet. And I was standing right there, and I was like, I got cut out of the shot. They don't know. I'm right there. We were filming the big fight battle with the magistrate, Morgan Elspeth, the great Diana Lee Inosanto, who I got to play with again on Ahsoka Season 2, on Season 1. And it's just, to be up there, and Andor's I'm so jealous of everyone who got to see the first episode already. When I watched Andor Season 1, those last couple episodes particularly, I was screaming at the screen. It is so well written. It is so brilliantly performed. It is so beautiful to watch because the whole depth and the landscape of it is so different than anything we've ever seen. And Rogue One is definitely one of my favorite films. So to think about just that idea of Princess Leia just going, what is this hope? And all of that content being created and expanded upon is just so powerful and just shows you just how much richness there is to this world and universe that we could explore. So to be on stage, to be able to see Ryan and say congratulations, because I know Ryan from way back. I gave him the little leg lamp from A Christmas Story. That's the weird history there. I had one and he wanted it, and I was like, yeah, you got it, dude. You're fine. And all these years later, I'm like, now we're in Star Wars together. This is so cool. And I worked with Diego. We shot a film, Chavez, together that he directed. I know Pedro from way, way, way back as well. His success could not be happening to a better person. I love Pedro. He has such a good heart. And what a brilliant actor. He's been doing it for so long, and now he's Zaddy. Like, that's so cool. How cool is that? I'm so happy for Space Zaddy. That makes me so happy. I was feeling it in my chest. How exciting is this film that's about to come out? Like, Baby Grogu is so incredible. And to see how Baby Grogu has evolved as well. The fact that I remember when I was the one who got to just speak to him and name him to the world. I was like, yes, we're making Ahsoka live action, but that alone is going to be such tremendous. If that's the only thing that I got to do, I was so happy and so grateful. So to be up there with Hayden again, knowing he's coming back for the second season.
Yeah.
Dave, they've been making these shows now for years. What they've done is just absolutely tremendous, and it just keeps getting better and better. I got to meet one of the cast members again from Skeleton Crew. Those kids are incredible. They're so good. I got into so much trouble going to visit them on set.
Oh, no.
You're not supposed to cross the streams.
That's all right. It's all good. I'm curious. I know we probably can't keep you for all 75 questions, sadly.
No.
But we've talked through so many amazing things. I'm curious, when you're between seasons, when you're between times when you're playing Ahsoka, what do you take with you from that role, from that character, that takes you forward in your own life?
I have to say, I thought a lot about it when I was going into the first season, especially working with Diana Leono Santo, whose father, worked and started a whole dojo with Bruce Lee. And I got to meet Shannon Lee, his daughter, and talk to her a lot about who he was and how he prepared. And we all know that he was physical perfection. Right? The level of discipline that he brought to his training and to his work was unparalleled. But he also did that with his mind. She was he had a library of over 1,000 books. He was constantly writing and journaling and just really working on himself spiritually, emotionally, thoughtfully, and physically. And I kept thinking about that a lot with her, as she's this Ronin type character. This is all she does. It's not like she goes to work 9 to 5 and then she steps into a different life. She is always at that top level. And that kind of level of discipline is not possible for me. I'm not that Prince who doesn't own sweatpants. You know what I mean? Some folks do live on that kind of high level all the time, but it stays with me as a thought all the time. And how I communicate, the words that I use, the how present I am with people. Because I think she's an incredibly present person. And that's something I put my phone down more. I make sure to really look people in the eye when I'm speaking with them, and I try to take that time. And I love that because that translates so much with how she is with Grogu, how she is with the Mandalorian, how she is with Sabine. Making sure that she's and letting her know that she is good as she is, and to just be the best that she can be. It's not about following perfectly in the steps of anyone else and trying to impress anyone else. It's trying to just be the best version of yourself at all times. And you're not going to do that successfully all the time. But that's when you give yourself grace, And I think that's the thing that I stay with. I meditate more now. I'm more mindful about how I'm eating, I'm sleeping, I'm just taking care of myself because I want to be prepared for anything that life throws at me at any moment and be right there for it. So that's what makes this so special because I'm looking at maybe uncomfortably at some of you directly in the eyes, but I can really see just how present all of you are, and I think it's so special, and I'm so grateful that you're here. We've been looking forward to coming to Star Wars Celebration here for a long time. We are so excited. I know it hasn't happened here in over a dozen years, and I heard a statistic that over 78% of the attendees, this is their first celebration.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. You're that first. That is so cool, and it's us so cool, I like to say, actually. It's us so cool, and I'm really grateful to be here with all of you, and I'm gonna take all of this energy that you're bringing and putting it into the second season, so own that when you see it.
That is
So I gotta share it with the crew. They're all so jealous that they're not here, so, but we're excited.
It's all such a beautiful sentiment. Thank you for sharing that. I think, just being present is such a great thing for all of us to take through. But you know who isn't present? John and Dave.
I know.
They're not here right now, so you want to tell us some secrets about season 2? Maybe?
Wow. We gave away a lot. Zeb's coming back. Woo. Which we feel so grateful he's gracing us with his presence because he's a movie star now.
It's kind of a big deal.
He's about to be a movie star right now. We said Hayden's coming back, which is very exciting. We've also talked about, it is called Star Wars. We're going to have a pretty significant war, and it's going to be very cinematic. It's going to be really, really beautiful because, Thrawn goes big. Who I also kind of call Zaddy a little bit. Can we just talk about that last episode? And he was like, Ahsoka Tano. I was like, Sabine, go in the back. Yeah, go in the back. He wants to talk to me. He's talking to me. And I think that's going to be really exciting. I know a lot of the fans wanted to see that sort of more moment between Ezra and Hera. But you're about to see them taking this on. It's really, really big. I love that Akbar's coming back. I hope it's not a trap for him.
I hope it's not, but I'm getting something in my earpiece. It sounds like Dave's on the phone. He wants to talk to you when we get off of here. So I think we'll let you go after that. But thank you so much for spilling some secrets.
We're in can we just say how cool it is that we're in galaxies far, far away now?
That is pretty great. That is pretty great. All right.
Pretty cool.
Literally cannot wait for Ahsoka Season 2.
Yeah, me too.
We're going to let you go so you can go make Ahsoka Season 2 starting next week. Thank you for coming to the stage. And Star Wars Celebration Live, it's still going. Don't miss it.